radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio. For the masses. Yeah, man. Today's Monday, March 23rd, 2020. 83 days into the new year, only 283 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black. For KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planets. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? Tonight. Man, we got a big show tonight. We got a big show. Tonight, we are having a stay-at-home party with all of you. That's what we're going to do tonight. Yes, I'm in the bunker. I have an essential job. But we're having a stay-at-home party with all of you, okay? This is the deal. We will be checking in with our friends and Fadernauts all night long. We have 8 very special guests lined up for tonight. 8. The number shall be 8. That is tonight on the show. It's going to be so much fun. So, I mean, I want to know, especially after going through this weekend and watching all of the posts and the live streams that were going on out there with friends and family and musicians and just goofiness and what people are doing at home. And I just thought, how cool is that? And I really enjoyed watching so much of it. And we planned on doing this last week, and as we started putting this together, I just thought, man, this is perfect. This is perfect. So we're going to do that tonight. I know that so many of you are stuck at home. We've got like a third of the country with stay-at-home orders. I'll get to most of that in just a bit. But so why not? Let's all hang out together. We're going to check in with our 8 surprise guests tonight and see what they are doing all around the country. And yeah, right? We're going to hang out with you. And then later on, with our last surprise guest, we'll take some of your phone calls. Okay? There you go. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, here on Fade to Black, David Icke, right here on this program. Tomorrow night, David Icke, live from the UK. I cannot wait. I just enjoy when David is on the show, and this is the deal. He probably has never had an important moment like this one, right? Trying to get the message out, and here it is. And he is very busy right now. and he's a friend of the show. He's an OG Fadernaut, and checking out some of the stuff that he's been doing with different television networks around the world. We just had to get him on, and he was, Jimmy, when, where, you tell me, let's do this. And I really appreciate David for taking the time. So he's going to be with us tomorrow night. Wednesday night is another Fader night, but we've moved Thursday to Wednesday. So we've swapped out days. Okay, so Fader night, open lines, is on Wednesday, because on Thursday, we've got Chris Bledsoe here. Chris Bledsoe is going to be here to take your phone calls and answer your questions for the entire show. And how cool is that? That is an amazing week on FadeToBlack. I say it every Monday. How do we do it? Man, man, man. What a great week in front of us. So, there you go. Okay, all right, let's get this show rocking. We've got a lot to do tonight. First off, you can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. We are broadcasting now, tonight and forever on. Hello to everybody over on Facebook, everybody that is on Twitter, everybody that is over on YouTube. Where else are we broadcasting live to tonight with the live stream? We've got, I think we have 2 Periscope feeds going. Probably we're going to add Instagram here soon, in a day or two. So that'll be added. In addition to our broadcast partners of KGRA and TalkStream Live, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spreaker. Man, I don't even know now. We're on like 10, 12 different networks. But welcome to everybody. Okay, so let's have some fun tonight. Most of you are at home, sheltering, and welcome. Okay? All right. You can email throughout the show, Jimmy@JimmyChurchRadio.com. If you want to hang out with us over, I know everybody's got their own little chats going. We have the chat room over at Spreaker. We have one over at KGRA. There's the chat room over at YouTube. Chatting away over on Twitter, too, as well, and Facebook, all of these different areas. So wherever you want to go to do that, you can. Our sandbox on Twitter is #F2B, and that's a pretty remarkable place to hang out, too, as well, if you want to come over and check that out, #F2B. All right, email is Jimmy@JimmyChurchRadio.com. And there you go. Let's get to so much breaking news, and I get all of that. I've narrowed it down, but I'm going to talk about breaking news more in just a bit. But today, Vice President Mike Pence said during today's White House press briefing that 313,000 coronavirus tests have now been completed, with more than 41,000 tests having come back positive. Incredible. Incredible. So the numbers that I'm going to give you tonight, that I do every night on coronavirus, tomorrow's numbers are going to be remarkably different. Okay? Remarkably. Would I say blee? The stock market dropped again today, down 582 points to finish at a mind-numbing 18,592. They're saying that was partially because Washington didn't get the $2 trillion deal done today. We expect it to be done first thing in the morning. I think on both sides of the aisle, everybody just wants to get this done as soon as possible. They want to get it right. And that is what is going on. So expect to have that passed in the morning, and hopefully the stock market is going to chill out tomorrow. Now, let's get to some numbers. Last Wednesday, the United States, now we need to turn back time. Today is Monday. Last Wednesday, which is 5 days ago, okay? Last Wednesday, the United States had around 6,300 coronavirus cases. The next day, which was last Thursday, it was 9,360 with 2,949 new cases and 44 deaths that were reported in just 24 hours. It was shocking, and things jumped. Okay? I want to back things up. We have to look back on March 11th. Today is the 23rd. On March 11th, there was only 1,267 cases and 38 deaths. Today, 4 days later, the United States has moved up to number 3 in the world with 43,449 cases, adding 9,897 in the last 24 hours, with only, get this, with only 295 recoveries out of 43,449. That's a crazy number. 42,609 are active cases, 545 deaths, with 132 deaths in the last 24 hours. Right now, although the numbers will change for sure, the United States has more deaths than recoveries. We need to really start taking this serious. The good news: the National Guard called up to replenish grocery stores in Arizona. That's great news. Army field hospitals will arrive in New York City and Seattle within the next 72 hours or less. President Trump signs an order to prevent hoarding and price gouging. Did that today. Clothing and textile manufacturers will deliver face masks to the United States government this week. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac pause mortgages for property owners as long as they don't evict tenants. The World Health Organization's coronavirus treatment trial will enroll patients this week. 5 Chicago hotels will house 2,000 coronavirus patients by the end of the week. First charter flight from Guatemala has now departed with U.S. citizens. FEMA will distribute 8 million N95 masks. 73 pallets will be shipped to New York, and 36 pallets will be sent to Washington State. Now, the bad news. Oregon issues a stay-at-home order. Florida governor will issue order mandating self-isolation for travelers from New York and New Jersey. Georgia's bars and nightclubs will shut down starting at noon tomorrow. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, speaking from his home in Ottawa, Canada today, had a message for Canadians who choose to ignore social distancing advice. He said, "Enough is enough. Go home and stay home." Pennsylvania issues a stay-at-home order for 7 counties. Hiking trails closed in Los Angeles County here in Los Angeles. South Carolina limits gatherings of 3 or more. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has ordered the UK to lock down for the next 3 weeks and advised all UK nationals to return home from abroad. Kansas will limit gatherings to 10 people. Toronto declares a state of emergency. Zimbabwe has closed all of its borders. Nigeria will close all of its land borders for 4 weeks. Sky Airline temporarily suspends operations in Chile. The Netherlands bans all public gatherings until June 1st. South Africa will go under lockdown for 3 weeks starting today. West Virginia orders residents to stay at home. Mexico City closes museums, gyms, and theaters. Indiana issues a stay-at-home order. There are now 12 states under stay-at-home orders, and they include California, New York, Illinois, Connecticut, New Jersey, Maryland, Louisiana, Ohio, Delaware, Michigan, Massachusetts, and New Mexico. There are 5 cities: Kansas City, Missouri, Nashville, St. Louis, Philadelphia, and Dallas County, Texas. San Diego today closes all parks, beaches, and trails. And Holland America's Zaandam ship headed toward Florida is carrying 42 people. That's 13 guests and 29 crew, all reporting flu-like symptoms. There you go. The bad news wasn't as long as it was it? Well, I left a lot of it out. as it was last week, but this is certainly continuing. Now, the coronavirus numbers, the real ones. Today, March 23rd at 7 p.m. PST, coronavirus cases worldwide, 378,144, an increase of over 150,000 in 4 days. Deaths, 16,488, an increase of 8,000 in just 4 days. Recoveries, 101,584. And this is what is interesting with me, because I've been running these numbers now every night on the show for a couple of weeks. We were running with recovery versus cases at about 50%. In fact, it went above 50% for a couple of days. Then it went down, and it got down to about a third, and now it's almost at a fourth recovered versus cases. There are 260,072 active cases worldwide. 12,211, that's 5%, are considered serious or critical. 247,861, 95% are considered mild conditions. All right, let's get the show cracking. Let's get it. The show must go on. Tonight is our Fade to Black Stay at Home party. We've got 8 surprise guests. Stay right there. Happy birthday to today. Blur frontman. Love Blur, by the way. Damon Albarn today is 52 years old. Carrie Russell, star of Felicity and The Americans. She's great in The Americans. That was just an amazing series. I think it's still running, right? I only watched the first 5 seasons. Today, Carrie Russell is 44. Chaka Khan, today, 67 years old. Of course, the singer of Rufus and Tell Me Something Good. Our dead guy's birthday today. Moment of silence, please. Rick Ocasek, 1944 to 2019, founding member, lead vocalist, rhythm guitarist, and songwriter for The Cars. Some of the greatest hits of our generation, and it's mind-blowing when you just put it all together, because they include Just What I Needed, My Best Friend's Girl, Good Times Roll, Let's Go, It's All I Can Do, Touch and Go, love that song, Shake It Up, love that song, Since You're Gone, love that one too, You Might Think, Magic, Drive, Hello Again, and Tonight She Comes. Ocasek died last year from natural causes at his New York City townhome on September 15th, 2019, at the age of 75. On this day in history, OTD, it went down. It did. 1983. President Reagan calls for new anti-missile technology. Reagan's speech marked the beginning of the Strategic Defense Initiative, otherwise known as the Star Wars program, on this day in 1983. Fade or fact? Okay, here you go. Are you ready? You ready for this? You ready? Most perfume, listen to me, most perfume is made from sperm whale puke. That's right. That's right. It's known as ambergris. This waxy secretion belched out by sperm whales is a core component to making any perfumes due to its pleasant smell and is often found floating in tropical seas. Ambergris. Sperm whale puke. Yeah, there you go. That's your Fade or Fact. Tonight, we're having a stay-at-home party right here on Fade to Black. We've got 8 special back-to-back-to-back guests. All of your favorites are here tonight on the show. Tomorrow night, David Icke joins us live from the United Kingdom. Wednesday is Fader night, not Thursday. Thursday is now Wednesday with open lines all night long, because Thursday, Chris Bledsoe is here. He's here to take your phone calls and answer all of your questions. That's Thursday night. Okay, let me hit this River Moon coffee. By the way, special thanks to Juanita and Jeff Seriously. And I mean it. Thank you, Juanita and Jeff, River Moon Coffee, for not only keeping us supplied here, but for just having the best, coolest company in the world, and you take care of our audience. River Moon Coffee. All right. RiverMoonCoffee.com. Fade to Black Blend. F2B Blend. 15% off of your order today. Now, I know it's hard right now to avoid watching the news, and I actually went 3 straight days of no news. That is until today. I spent the weekend working. Everybody knows I spent the weekend working. Friday and Saturday, I was over hosting Coast to Coast AM. And yesterday, Rita and I spent our day cleaning and cooking and watching TV. I didn't watch the news. And by the way, since tonight is our stay-at-home party, one of the great things I recommend right now to binge right now on television is Tiger King on Netflix. Have you guys checked out Tiger King yet? Somebody please get the links up for Tiger King in Twitter, and I will retweet it. But I was talking to Steve Murillo earlier today. I was like, dude, Tiger King, you've got to check it out. It's amazing. Just watch it. Just watch it. No spoilers here. I ain't going to do it. Just watch it, all of it. Start from the beginning, get to the end. What's brilliant about this is this documentary starts, I think, about 5 years ago, and it goes all the way to, like, last month. You've got to watch Tiger King. Anyway, one of the things that is happening, or not happening right now, however, excuse me, however you want to look at it, is that all of the bad news that we are used to that is always there, right, has totally disappeared. Everything has gone from the headlines. And I'm talking about things like ISIS and Syria and Turkey and Russia and North Korea and hurricanes and floods and murders and shootings, impeachment, Washington, D.C., Friday night fights, kind of miss them, fires, drought, Iran, Iraq, plane crashes, me too, you too, I too, us too. You know, it's weird. And here in Los Angeles, which is normally 24/7, I'm talking about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, police helicopters. They're everywhere. Sirens. It doesn't matter where you are in Los Angeles. It just doesn't matter. It's sirens and police helicopters. Everything has gone virtually silent. It's crazy. Where have all the criminals gone? You know, and what's weird is that I guess that both the criminals and the weather are both afraid of coronavirus because they've both decided to stay at home. We ain't got no weather news. And it's probably smart and stands to reason that it's a really bad time to burgle a house when everybody is at home and armed to the teeth, right? Just waiting for a stranger to come knocking on the door for no reason. I'm just saying. All right, I'm just saying. And the other part is it's rained here every day for 2 straight weeks. It's raining outside right now. So there ain't going to be any fires starting anytime soon here either. There's no drunk driving. The bars are closed across the country. And the only new inmates at the jails across the nation are for the toilet paper fights between 2 housewives at Costco. And that's the truth. One of the cool things about staying at home and hanging out on social media right now has been all of the live streaming of musicians. Some are pro, and that's cool. Most are just like you and me, in their living rooms or their bedroom studio, cranking out the jams. And I got to say, it's really entertaining, and I hope it doesn't stop after everything starts to get back to normal. Next for me, though, with all this free time, is going to be cleaning out the garage. And I've always got an excuse for Rita for putting it off, and I can assure you that those days are numbered. And soon after that, I'm sure I'll end up breaking out a guitar. I'll be jamming on one of our channels for all of you. You know, it's just, you know, why not, right? When in Rome. If everyone else can, you know, crank out a bad version of Jimi Hendrix, I suppose that I can go ahead and destroy some Van Halen for the world to see. But don't hold your breath, really, honestly. I got to tackle that garage first. So with that, everyone has been doing their virtual get-togethers all over the net. And tonight we're going to be doing just that. We have lined up a bunch of your favorite guests to check in with us tonight to see how they are all getting along while being hunkered down in their homes, just like you and I. Tonight is our version of a Fade to Black stay-at-home party, as directed by our California governor, Gavin Newsom. So kick back, grab your favorite beverage, and get ready. When I come back after the break, Randy McMullen joins us to kick off the night, followed by 8 back-to-back-to-back surprise guests. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple enough. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. I'll be right back with Ronnie McMullen from Life Change Tea. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
OMG! People are jumping on board to the Life Change Tea Regiment. Brew, steep, and drink for a gentle, taste-great cleanse. It's changing how they feel. See what everybody's talking about. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Life Change Tea aids in digestive slowdown and helps people get moving down a healthy path. We won't make claims. We'll just let you decide. Experience is much better than a commercial anyway. If you want results, log on to getthetea.com and purchase your super strength cleansing tea. You won't be disappointed. And if you're looking for some mind-body suggestions, go to YouTube and punch in the search bar Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. Put power into your health now. So, getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com for super strength tea. And YouTube, Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now for valuable suggestions. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Welcome to everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, on all of our syndicated networks. Broadcasting live tonight. Man, we're doing what? We're doing YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, iHeart, KGRA. What am I leaving out? TuneIn, TalkStream Live. I've lost track of how many Facebook, our radio page, how many networks are out there syndicating this show. So welcome to everybody listening. And if you've never talked to Ronnie McMullen before, ever hung out with him, well, here we go, because there's only one Ronnie McMullen. Ronnie, welcome back, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
This is our Fade to Black Stay at Home Party special event. How are you doing at home?
I kind of like it. I'm getting some honeydews done. I'm playing with my dog. Life is good. Making some good food. I mean, it's all good.
One of the things, and I want to know more about what you are doing to keep yourself sane, but there is a lot of the shift happened, maybe 10 years ago. So many people working from home now because they have the ability to work remotely. For them, it's like, well, I've been doing this anyway, so I guess we'll just continue this. But for others that haven't done this, maybe in ever, it's a little bit of a shock to the system trying to figure out what to do all day long because you're not working from home, you're just at home. And what are you doing to keep yourself busy? Any special shows? Are you binging anything?
No, everything's good. I'm just making sure that we have plenty of product, calling our manufacturers, making sure that, because there's been an uptick in, the buying of immunity builders. And so we just want to make sure that we don't run out. That's the big thing. You keep your immunity up, life's going to be good. But being home, that's not a bad thing. I mean, my dog, wrestling my 75-pound dog, boy, I tell you, it's working me out.
Have you checked out all of the live streaming that people are doing from their homes? Have you had an opportunity to check that out on social media, the bands and the musicians and families just hanging out? Have you checked that out?
I have not, but it's probably cool because I would imagine since you're not in the humdrum world anymore because you got sent home, creativity might be at the top.
Yeah, I think there's that, and also people want to stay connected, right? They don't want to feel like they're shut off from the world, and having the ability to go and live stream on the net from your bedroom studio with an acoustic guitar and start singing some Hank Williams songs is pretty cool, and it's a lot of fun to watch, man. It's a lot of fun. Rita told me this weekend. She said, "Hey, church, I think it's about time you break out the guitar and go live. Everybody else is doing it, so why don't you make that happen?" So I guess, I'm going to destroy some heavy metal tunes.
There you go.
Yeah, for the world.
Send me a copy. Let me know, or warn me or something.
Well, what's the environment? That's funny. What's the environment like where you are at? You're in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm in Arizona. We don't have National Guard at Costco yet, but it was kind of weird. I went to Costco a couple days ago, and the shopping was okay, but the windy road they're only letting so many people. I heard it's 30, but I think it's more than that. But it felt weird. But, and I told my wife, I said, honey, you can stay home if you want. I can just go get what we need to get, And she says, no, I'm not going to freak out about this. And because here's the thing, Jimmy, people with the flu, normal influenza flu, there's more sickness and deaths with that than there is in this so-called, COVID-19. And which is funny because all the media says COVID-19 pandemic. They always put that it's like, we know it's a pandemic. We know you called that. It seems it's a fear builder. So if we don't have fear, boy, it sure stumps them.
What do you? There's another part of this that I have noticed, which is not only the bad news. We've got the coronavirus bad news, but all of the other bad news that is normally there. Murders, killings, ISIS, Syria. Iran, Iraq, Russia, North Korea, violence in the cities, home invasion, robbery. Everything seems to have stopped. Those headlines are gone.
Yeah, they're gone. But, I'll tell you the thing, I'm going to go conspiracy. I think something else is going on. This reminds me of the Clinton years. This reminds me of old Billy's in there playing with his girlfriend, and telling the wife to go for a walk. And meanwhile, China's getting all kinds of goods from the Clintons. So this reminds me of something where we're all looking to the left and something's going on to the right. Now, I could be wrong, but that's just the feeling I get.
But why do that? And I talked about this all weekend with different callers on Coast to Coast, which if that is the case, Ronnie, why lose $30 trillion doing it? Why crush every single country on the planet, including your own, wherever you're from?
These people that are at the top play the cards very differently than, say, you and I if we were at the top.
Yeah, but it's their money that has gone bye-bye.
Some of their money, but you got to remember, they have so much money, they just print money. Money doesn't mean anything. In fact, I just saw some article or something. They said, we're just going to print all this money, and it was like there was no we're going to print X amount of dollars or we're going to do this. We're going to just inject the economy with, we're just going to print money until the cows come home. Well, that'll cause inflation. So, you kind of wonder what's going on. I have some ideas about what I think's going on that's on a big scale, but, am I right? Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We're gonna see.
Yeah, I agree in the who knows part, right? None of us are right. We're not going to be able to analyze any of this for many months. And if you go back to like 9/11, right? Here we are in 2020. We don't know any more about 9/11 than we did the day that it happened. And you would have thought that we would have had real answers by now. And maybe we're in the same situation this time around where we may never find out the bottom line with this insanity that we're going through. It's crazy, no doubt.
Well, when we find out about, and this is kind of the clue here. So we have 9/11, and we never really found, we found some pieces out, but we didn't find, it wasn't a play-by-play. This is what happened. And we probably will never find that out, just as we're never going to find out what's behind this pandemic and how it happened and blah, 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 blah. And that right there shows you there's something to both issues. If we can't know play-by-play, why are they hiding it?
That's the bit that it's always the why. Why?
I love why. I grew up with why.
I can't figure it out. This is I love a good conspiracy. I love a good rabbit hole. It's one of the funnest things that you can do. This time around, I feel weird about it, about going conspiracy and thinking that there's something else funky going on when so many people are affected. And not only it shows there's no discrimination here. Right. And when you think about the bartenders and then the hostesses and the waitresses and the cooks and all of the service industry across the United States and hotels, it goes on and on. All the retail businesses shutting down. Everything, everybody at every level is affected, and they have families. They have rent and mortgages and need to put food on the table and keep the electricity on and pay the car payments and it's not just one city, it's every single country on the planet. That's the part where I just freak out on. I don't know. I refuse to freak out. I look at, nobody talks about the good news. How many people are infected? How many people died? That's what they talk about. And think about this. If they and them or the people at the top really cared about us, they would say, hey, keep this quiet. Let's keep this on the down low. Start talking about how many people have got over the virus. Start talking about how China is on a downwind. There's not as many new cases. Talk about Korea. There's not as many new cases. Let's talk about the positive, but they don't. Now, whether that's the media,
but I think the media's got to follow they and them and what they say. So something's up here, and we can go conspiracy. Conspiracy turns into truth about half the time, and then there's some of those rabbit holes that you go, really? So I just think that I'm not going to have fear. And I told my wife this. I said, I'm going to go to Costco, and it's going to be funky in line, but once we get inside, it's going to be like the normal thing, and the only difference I saw is people, usually in Costco are kind of strolling along and, should we buy this? I don't know. What do you think? None of that going on. It was like, get to the toilet paper. Like the virus makes do what? It doesn't. So I don't understand the whole toilet paper thing, but maybe that's one of the questions that'll never be answered.
Now, the other part to all of this, and I cannot believe that not only the government, but the medical side of the agencies and hospitals and doctors across this country, the references to the your immune system and who is vulnerable to coronavirus, which turns into COVID-19, is that you need to maintain your immune system. And for everybody out there, these are the recommendations. Go and do this, and this, and you can help fight this. Nobody's talking about it. They want to mention the immune system. They don't want to talk about the preventive measures that you can do to help boost your immune system. I have to ask you, Ronnie, why is that? That should be the first thing that they're not masks. Right? We need to be talking about your immune system and what to do about it.
Well, I think because the doctors don't know a whole lot about the immune system when it comes to how to build it. They try to repair it with pharmaceuticals. They when it comes to any kind of nutritional training, they have very little. When it comes to drugs and pharmaceuticals, they have a whole lot of training. When it comes to surgical, they have a lot of training, but this is not a surgical event. So, when it comes to, building the immune system, they will tell you, but most of the time it's been so long that the doctors are not allowed to tell you about supplements or natural stuff to take. They could lose their job because it kind of moves in on the pharmaceutical trade. And most of these connections, which I won't go into great depth here, but there's definitely connection there. So, I just go, they're doing what they're going to do. That's great. And, they're antibiotics and that kind of stuff when somebody really gets what the issue. But again, it goes back to the scare thing. It's like, if you're a diabetic, you really have a good shot at getting this. And so here's, a bazillion diabetics going, oh, and let me tell you something. Okay. Tom Hanks is a diabetic. Okay. He's doing just fine. Okay. He's getting over the disease. So don't fear this. Just be prepared and do smart things. Sugar will drop your immune system. So kill which is kind of cool because you go to the grocery store, the Hostess aisle stuffed, the candy bars are all stuffed. I like that. People aren't buying that kind of stuff. So if you take sugar, that's gonna weigh down your immune system. So you don't want to be doing a lot of sugar right now. And then of course I sell different things, and there's different things you can get that I don't sell that are absolute mind-blowing good. And the more I've learned about the immune system, the more I go, okay, I need to carry this in my arsenal. Vitamin A, huge. Vitamin A is like the deadbolt. It is big on your, D3 is they say D3 is really huge on it. I'm kind of going, yeah, it's good. Stand in the sun is really good, which a lot of us don't have sun right now. We got a lot of clouds and rain and all this kind of stuff. But if you can stand in the sun, that the natural D3 is the best thing you can get. Their natural D is the best thing you can get. But and that, viruses don't live real well in heat and humidity. They don't do well. So that'll kind of give you an idea. Don't go into a cold place, like we really do. But I've got stuff that I've put on the website and people are into it. And this is stuff you should be taking every day. But like people, I've heard the vitamin C thing. Oh, it gets vitamin C. And it's like, well, okay, most of the vitamin C is 1,000 milligrams. Like that's really going to do you something, That's like saying, hey, I'm going to go to LA from Arizona, but I got a gallon of gas. You're going to need more than a gallon of gas.
Right. Everybody knows what I take, but I am going to go over that again once to listen to me. I take every day, I drink Ronnie's tea. And I drink it because it tastes good. It fixed me originally. Now I do a maintenance. I drink it every day. I drink the tea. I take a custom-made multivitamin. That's what I do. Everybody else can go out and get a multivitamin, and no matter what, you're going to benefit from it. I take a custom-made capsule that is horribly expensive, but I do that, and I actually double dose. I take D3 every day. I take B12 every day. I do 10,000 units of each. I take vitamin C every single day. Ronnie's 1,000 milligrams. I take pine bark liquid every day. I double dose. I take olive leaf extract from Ronnie, double dose every day. I take moringa droppers, double dose from Ronnie every single day. This is what I do. I do 1,000 milligrams of CBD, full dropper in the morning, full dropper before I go to bed. That's what I do every day, and I'm healthy. And I started this, Ronnie, because of you putting the pressure on me 4 years ago, and I have been healthy ever since. And now I am so thankful that you have taken care of not only myself and Rita, but my entire family. And we are on that program of keeping ourselves healthy. Something like this comes along, you don't expect it, but we're not late to the party. We are good to go, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, there's something else, too. The Fadernauts have enjoyed some of these products and said, oh, my gosh, this really works. And so that's been really kind of cool, too. My job is a cool job because my job is to keep you guys out there healthy. And that is a cool job because my stuff works. And I say that, you know, it sounds like I'm patting the back or whatever, but my stuff works. I made it to where that's what it does. I don't carry anything or I don't make anything. If it doesn't work, it goes off my shelf. So that is an important thing. Like my Allison Advanced, people don't realize what Allison Advanced does for your immunity. All you have to do is Google garlic. Just Google garlic. Now when you Google the Allison part of the garlic, which is the healing part of the garlic, and you realize that my Allison Advanced has one pill is equal to 35 cloves of garlic and the Allison part. So what this does for the immune system is wonderful. I call it shields up. If your shields are up, and this, it doesn't matter what you take. If you're taking immune, like the olive leaf is a huge immune builder too. So is on my front page. I put them on both special, my Big Al, and I also put BioAstin, which is a new product I'm carrying. That's huge, huge, huge for your immunity. And when your immunity is up, just imagine that as a shield. If your shield is up, what's going to get into you? It's going to be a lot harder to penetrate when you have your shields up. But if your shields are down, you're doing a lot of sugar, you're not taking stuff, you're not exercising, you don't stand in the sun at all. If you're doing that, you're going to be a target. You're going to be a target for pathogens, and your immunity is going to fire down. We don't die of the virus. We die of our body reacting to the virus. That's what we die of. So if your immunity's up, your body's not going to be out of whack, and so your body's going to say, oh, there's a pathogen, we got to kill that thing, and it'll kill it. So, and every doctor should know this or does know this, but we sometimes go on these rabbit trails. So it's really important. I have and I'll just tell this from the truth. You reverse speech me if you have to. I am not scared of the virus at all. At all. I'm more scared of the craziness of people and how they're kind of reacting. If we just act and not react, life's going to be great.
I agree with that. And let me ask you this. When we're talking about Allison or the tea or vitamin A and vitamin B and vitamin D3, these different vitamins, vitamin C, very crucial. Getting on the program, how long does it take for Allison to start kicking in? How long does it take for these other vitamins to start to build up this defensive mechanism for your immune system?
Vitamin C takes a while. Vitamin A takes a little bit of while. Allison Advanced takes a couple days. The BioAstin is now. It's now. And I want to just share something real quick. I know we're getting short on time, but I want to share something just real quick so you understand what powerhouses I've got for immunity. When we're talking about bioactin, people don't know what that is, and that's astaxanthin, okay? It's great for your eyes, it's great for your joints, great for your cardiovascular, and I can go on and on and on. But I want you to know how powerful this is because it's been tested. So just let's do it this way. 14.3 times stronger than vitamin E. That's what bioactin is. How about 17.9 times stronger than pycogenol, which is pine bark, which I love, powerful. How about 20.9 times stronger than synthetic astaxanthin, because this is natural astaxanthin. Here's one for you, and you're going to like this one. 53.7 times stronger than beta-carotene. And we know what that's all about, okay? And then how about this one? I love this one. We're always talking about it, and this has been talking about since the viruses came out. Get your vitamin C. Bioactin is 64.9 times stronger than vitamin C, plus it crosses the blood barrier, goes into your brain and eyes, and does great things. So if you and I put T on both of my specials on the front page, and the reason I put the T on there is because you want to get all the toxins. Your body is not going to be up to par with everything going on. So the toxins are going to come out. You clean all the toxins out, and then you take your Allison Advanced or you take your bioactin. And you'll notice on the bioactin special, there's sockeye salmon in there, and you're going, why? He's just trying to get rid of sockeye salmon. Bioactin works so much better when you take it with fats. So when you take it with omegas, it works much, much better. And the reason I put a little book on there is so you could realize why you're taking what you're taking and what it does. Because what I just read to you is 2 seconds. And this is not a big fat book, but let me tell you something. When you read it, you'd be on bioactin all the time. And I've actually sent it to 3 or 4 hosts and said, okay, I'm going to send you something. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Take it and tell me what you got. And most of them come back and said, oh my God, I've got energy. Oh my God, my joints feel better. I mean, I'm just listening to what they're saying. So it's powerful stuff. And in this time and in this season right now, and unfortunately we have a season that's a little tough, it's good to get our shields up. If our shields are up, we're going to be good as gold.
I just took some live on the air as you were reading that off and held it up to the camera. So there's time. Right? So if everybody just gets on board right now, while this thing is still somewhat contained, you can go get your immune system built up and leave it there. Maintain it for the rest of your life. It's very important to get started.
Well, and another thing, too, and people forget this, just tell yourself right now, it doesn't matter what your health is, tell yourself right now, it's not going to affect me. I'm going to be fine even if I get it. I'm going to be fine even because if your brain is a superpower, so when you take the stuff, and the other thing too, for people to say, what if I have it and then I start taking this stuff, will it disappear? It'll just shorten the time. It's not like you're going to take a couple of astaxanthins or you're going to take Allison Advanced and all of a sudden, oh, I'm good now. Everything's great. It's not going to work like that. But it will make things quicker. So the T makes things quicker, the Allison Advanced, the bioactin, all of that makes things go quicker. But you just want to get your brain in sync with your immunity builder so your shields are up. And trust me, even if you get it, you're not going to die.
Now, before we say goodnight, I want to thank you for everything that you have done, not only supporting this program, but taking care of our audience and family. What is going on over at the website right now at Get the Tea?
As far as specials?
Yes.
Specials. You scroll to the front page, getthetea.com, scroll down. It'll say monthly specials. And, of course, we've just been talking about these. My special is Big Al and Super Tea. You're going to save yourself $10 on the 2 of those. And I've got the Immune Builder. And that one you save about $12. But then you're going to save more because if you save Fader on your coupon code, so you look at the coupon code, hit Fader, hit apply, you're going to get free shipping.
That's what I'm talking about. This is so important to all of us, Ronnie, and I really mean that. You taking care of this audience and our Fader Not family. So the promo code is Fader, Fader, free shipping, and you've got specials on the tea, and of course you've got the Immune Builder package too as well.
Exactly. And if you really want more stuff, you can go to the My Immune page and just have yourself a good old time. So I'm here to take care of you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Now, what about you and your family? Everything good out there, your community, the street that you live on? It's pretty nice to feel the harmony that is going on out there in the world, isn't it?
Yes, literally had somebody that lived next door to us, and she came by, and she's about 30-something years old, and she says, just checking to see if you need anything, and if you do, just let me know. I might go to the store and get this, that, and the other, and it's like community, and that's what it's all about.
Well, I said to one of my neighbors the other day, I pulled up, I just did some shopping. He was doing the same thing, right? We're unloading our cars, and he's like, hey, Jimmy. I'm like, hey, Henry. He's probably listening right now. And I said, you got water? And he goes, I'm stocked up. And I said, good, because I don't have any. I need to know where to go. And he goes, man, come on over. My house is your house. And that's the way it should be.
That's the way it used to be in the 50s, and we need to grab that back. I mean, I just passed eggs to one of my neighbors, and they said, do you have any eggs? I go, yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, just went to the store, handed her some eggs. And it was like, this is what's supposed to happen. And why we're not doing this full time all the time is beyond me.
Man, see, I've been on the egg search now for over a week. We still haven't found eggs. Have not found eggs. I cannot
Come
wait.
to my house, Jimmy.
Man,
you're going to have to drive a ways, but I'll get you some eggs.
I'm going to make the omelet of doom. Ronnie, thank you so much, my friend. Be safe out there. These are crazy times. We're going to get through it with your help. I want all of the Fadernauts to go and visit getthetea.com. Get your immune system back on track.
Shields up.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. Behave and be well.
Take care.
Ronnie McMullen, Life Change Tea. All of the links are right there at Life Change Tea. Ronnie's in good spirits. That's right. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Gonna kick off the rest of our stay-at-home party. After this short break, our first special surprise guest is up next. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or to speak with a trained consultant, give Angioprim a call at 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fadernauts, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting, interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in. Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go Beckley Teppy.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're also Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's right. Tonight is our Fade to Black Stay at Home Party. And kicking it off, we have 8 back-to-back very special surprise guests. And kicking off the show tonight is Rabbi Bar Zadok. Rabbi, good evening, my friend. How are you? Oh.
Everybody, how are you?
I am fantastic. It's good to hear. Let's actually start here. How are you doing?
We are in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we are under a safer at-home order that is implemented tonight. Remember, here right now it's 11 p.m.
Right.
So it's going to go into effect in 1 hour. And all non-essential businesses are going to be closed. So, well, needless to say, all the restaurants, our favorite gyms, of course, are closed. But the supermarkets are open. And thank God that they're all stocked with food. I mean, you might not be able to get any toilet paper, but in all due respect, I really don't eat toilet paper.
Right.
So I can always find alternatives for that. But I mean, you know, all the fresh produce is there. Everything else is there. No one's going to be starving to death at this time. I mean, all the frozen pizza is there. I'm not a beer drinker, but there is beer is in plenty for those who do. And, you know something? Every obstacle, as you know, is an opportunity.
You have you have to look at life that way.
Always. You know, I'm also, you know, as a pastoral counselor, I counsel people all the time. And many of the people I'm talking with now are businessmen, businesswomen, who are now required to stay home with their children, which is something they've never really done before. And they're actually learning and having such a wonderful time. of being with their kids, which is because of business and other, financial obligations. They haven't had the opportunity before. So there's a silver lining in all of this.
I agree with that in a weird way, and I don't want to take away or act like I'm ignoring, all of those out there that are overworked, right? Because of the men and women around this country, the warehouse, the delivery, the truck drivers, the hospital workers, the healthcare, the list goes on and on. Who needs to be there to keep this country running? There's that part. And then there's the other side, those that have their jobs and stuff taken away from them or are being told to go and stay at home. Everything is closed. We'll get back to you at a later date. For them, they are used to going to work every day. Now they're staying at home. What are you doing to keep yourself sane? How do you keep your mind active?
Well, with me personally, remember, with our Kosher Torah School, we are an online educational institute. We deal with our students and work with our clients literally around the world all the time. So for me, I'm always working out of my office through the internet to the world. So I'm always home.
And that's
I have to actually push myself to get out, to go to the gym, to do everything else on a regular basis.
Well, let me jump in, though. I'm going to interrupt you because you're the perfect person to ask for advice, right? Because you are, I was just talking about this with Ronnie McMullen a few minutes ago. There's a lot of people that do work from home now that didn't, 10 years ago, and the ability to do that and be amazingly productive from the home is something that is growing today. Those are the people that we need to be talking to about what to do at home all day long to make sure you're moving things forward and not being lazy, right?
Well, that's actually very important because, as you know, let's be honest, for the most part, we're a real lazy society. Going to the gym is so easy. You go there, you do your workout, and then you come home. It's almost like a regiment. But when you don't have that, and obviously our requirements, and that's what they are, for physical health is part and parcel of our safety in building our immunity systems. And therefore, what I do is good old-fashioned military-style calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups. I have the chin bar here. I have all the types of things that you can do, and every single day, even if it's just for a half hour in the morning, always the best time, you do what you need to do, whether it's burpees, jumping jacks, or anything of the kind, because bottom line, you have to be healthy. And discipline is both a physical and a spiritual obligation.
Tonight we have so many new listeners because the obvious, more people are at home, they're hanging out on the internet, they're here with us, and they're listening to you. And what advice can you give everyone about, I think hope is the wrong word, but the other correct word is not to fall into depression or anxiety or give in to the fear too as well, because all of this can affect the individuals and sometimes to the extreme. What can you share with everybody?
I'll just tell you in two simple words from Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Right on.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
I gave a class last week. It's on my YouTube channel, in which I spoke about the message of what's going on right now. And I wore my good old Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy t-shirt that says don't panic on it as a message to people. Look, this is a virus. It's not good, obviously. Some people are going to get sick. Thank God the vast majority will get better. And unfortunately, we will have casualties, but we always have those who succumb to sickness. This is part and parcel of being human. It's obviously not the great part, but it is a part, and we have to learn to accept that. And as long as we do what we need to do, everything will be fine. The concern that I have isn't so much for the virus. Thank God it's not like the plague. It's people get better. I'm more concerned with people who are afraid, who do panic, and can make matters worse. So if we're forced to be at home, and yeah, it's an economic challenge. That's true. We all know that. It's for me, it's for all of us. But we'll get through it. We'll manage. We will get through. And in that respect, as long as we don't panic, don't freak out, and we act responsibly, we'll make it through. 3-6 months down the line, everything is going to be behind us. We will move forward, and God be willing, be the better for it.
As a rabbi, how impressed are you with the way that the world is reacting? It seems like everybody's a couple shades nicer, kinder, giving, reaching out to help, communicating, and saying hello. And it's like a world without borders right now, and it's never been like this in my memory. How impressed are you with that?
I'll just remind you what the good old Bible itself said. Remember, it says we're all created in the image of God?
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now, we're all subject to a simple itsy-bitsy virus that can affect all of us, regardless of race, religion, creed, color, sexual orientation, or anything else. It is the common denominator. And I think that is so humbling, so revelatory, and so wise that it makes us realize that we are all into this together. And I would hope and pray that that understanding of our similarity will help us cultivate an identity of unity. Because really, that's what it's all about. That's what it's always been all about. So again, I look at this obstacle as an opportunity. And I would hope and pray that people would choose to see it accordingly and act accordingly. And let's move forward once this is behind us, learning and implementing the lessons that we've learned. I mean, we can do this if we so choose.
Yeah, I hope that once we get through this and we realize that we can all be friends and we can all help each other and we can actually put our differences aside and come together as a planet, that we don't go back into human amnesia and forget about it once everything settles down and we go back to our old ways. That's the part that I'm just hopeful that we just continue this global unity that seems to be going on, this harmony, which is very, very cool.
Well, let's get a little deeper into this. As you know, as many of your listeners know, the ultimate reality in things is energy. Everything is an energetic field. And what we understand in our Kabbalistic tradition is that this energy or energetic fields in the universe is conscious, sentient, alive. There's an old Torah teaching that says to every blade of grass, there is an angelic force above it causing it to grow. Well, even this virus is alive. It has a consciousness. It has a sentience. It essentially has an angel, an angelic Lord over it, guiding its direction in accordance to whatever plan known by the powers above. And there are those who are consciously aware of their meditative abilities, who can actually commune and interact at that level. and receive insight and information. I discussed this again in classes on my YouTube channel for those who want to go look it up and go check it out there. And we have to ask ourselves, well, okay, here's this virus and all these things are happening now in our society. Is this just some freak coincidence of nature? Or is there really a higher hand behind this, causing it, knowing that the positive outcome of this can be great?
Thank you so much.
Respect,
I feel like I just interrupted you when I wanted to say thank you.
No, it's okay.
Thank you for taking the time tonight. Everybody is busy with family and making sure that their lives are together, and you took the time tonight to hang out with us and share these tremendous words of wisdom. Thank you so much, Rabbi.
Thanks, Jimmy. Don't panic. Everybody be cool.
Rabbi Ariel Bar-Zadok. Thank you so much, Rabbi.
All right. Shalom, Jimmy.
Shalom. That is one of the coolest men that I know. And by the way, that rabbi rides a Harley. Doesn't get any better than that. All right, I'm waiting for our next guest to come in. Tonight is our Fade to Black Stay at Home party. Tonight we have 8 back-to-back guests coming in. All of your favorites are here with us tonight. And with that, I am going to actually, our next guest is right here on time. And let's just keep this thing going. It's going to be great because right now joining us is Billy Carson. Billy, how you doing, man?
All right. What's up, Jimmy?
How are you, sir?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. I'm just over here in nice, beautiful, sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Give a big shout out to the Fadernauts, man. You know they love you.
Oh, man, Fadernauts. What's up, Fader Nation? I love you guys, man. Thank you so much for all the love you guys have been sharing with me and spreading and reposting my stuff and everything and leaving positive comments. I really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Billy. You know, everybody just not only appreciates your knowledge, but it's your personality and how much energy that you put into all of us. But that's not even what's more important. What is important is what are you doing at the house? Are you listening to music? How are you keeping yourself busy? Are you partying? Michael Jordan hanging out? You know, what goes on over at the Carson pad?
Well, I've been just working out really in the house because obviously all the gyms and everything are closed. Even my community gym is closed. So I've been just taking this time to work out because before I was doing 20 to 25 flights a month. Which makes it hard to exercise, Mm-hmm. So I'm in here now doing kettle swings and push-ups and Pilates and everything else, man. Just trying to get my body back into tip-top condition. So if we do get a little bit of summer, I can catch some of it, and eating good. I've removed gluten from my diet now. Before I was getting a little bit of gluten, now I completely removed that and just focusing on building my immune system and eating foods and herbs and things that are going to help, build my immune system and getting a lot of meditation and a lot of Zen time in.
You know what's funny? First off, all of the exercises that you just listed, mm-hmm. I haven't heard of any of them. So that shows you where my health is. And Pilates. It's hard to have a chilled shot of vodka when you're doing Pilates. So that's kind of to hold it at the same time. But this is what's weird. Where did with all of the shopping and the bare shelves, right, that you see in the markets right now, where did all the gluten-free and lactose-intolerant people go? Because that's the first food that went.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. It did. Man. Yeah, when I found out about this coronavirus, I was just getting back from the mountains in Jamaica. I was doing a vegan cooking class up there in the mountains, and I got back and I was like, "This thing made it to America now." So I hurried up and went on Amazon.com and went to Whole Foods on Amazon, and I ordered a whole bunch of food to last me for a whole month from Amazon.com. So I never had to go to the store.
Well, we're still. I'm gonna keep mentioning this until it happens. We're still shopping for eggs. I mean, we're good. We're good. Rita and I are cool. The house is good. Our family's taken care of. Our parents. We're sitting really, really good. Except I'm sitting without eggs. And man. I can't imagine the breakfast.
You got toilet paper?
Yeah. Yeah, I do, actually. We were stocked with everything before this thing happened. I'm a Costco shopper, man, so I'm always buying that stuff. So we're okay. We're okay.
Yeah.
But the other part, are you watching anything? Are you live streaming now? Everybody's live streaming, playing guitar from the house and all of that stuff. Are you doing that too as well?
Oh, yeah. I did an Instagram Live for 20 minutes today. Then I did a Facebook Live for 20 minutes. The other day I had two phones on my little holster at the same time, and I was on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. I thought that was cool.
Oh, right on. Right. Yeah. Did you go this weekend? Rita came to me last week. She goes, everybody is live streaming from their house, and they're having these Zoom parties. And have you checked it? So I started. I did. I was clicking through all of these live streams, different guitar players and singers and families and their kids singing. I went through one live stream after another, and I got to tell you, I was digging it. I was very entertained.
Nice. Yeah. Well, you know what's happened? It took the coronavirus for us to realize that your home is your sanctuary. And if it's not, you need to make it your sanctuary. And that the stranger that's there with you, your better half, is somebody you need to, pay a little bit more attention to. And I think this is going to give a lot of couples some time to rekindle their relationship. Maybe throw another spark in there, and if they already have sparks, make it a big spark, and do things like take your better half on a little picnic in the backyard or on the patio. Share, cook a meal together. Spend time together, and get the kids off the video games and give them goals. Make them do things like, read books and do book reports and things like that, and give them game time on video games for accomplishing, tasks that give them knowledge and understanding of how to live in this matrix that we call the third dimension.
Yeah, Rita and I already spent a lot of time together. A lot of time together.
Oh yeah, I know.
And she said to me this morning, she goes, "When this is over, I need away time."
I can see her saying that too, man.
She did say it, and she meant it too. She meant it. She goes, "I'm out of here, man. First train out of town, man. I'm out of here." So it's really true. And there's you bring up something really interesting. And for those out there that are listening, you know who you are. I used to be this way. There are people out there that don't cook at home. That they just don't do it. And especially if you're like single, right? You are eating out 3 times a day, and you've got nothing in your refrigerator because you do it by choice. And then something like this happens, and you're like, man, I wonder what I got to eat. And they open up the 3-year-old can of string beans that's been sitting there, and now they have to make those adjustments, right? They've got to cook at home. And
it's time, man. Listen, it's time to grow up. You gotta, survival skills got to kick in.
And Betty Crocker cookbook.
Man, best thing you can get.
Go and get yourself one. And what about the other creative side for you? Are you going to Are you going to do some writing? How are you researching? Because normally you're at Pumapunku, right? Or you're at the Great Pyramid, and you're doing all of this stuff. How are you going to continue your research? And I think everybody would like to know what that is, and so they can take on some of this advice.
Yeah. Well, man, I had to cancel so many flights like everybody else, and so many big trips that I had planned this summer, because I don't like to travel to cold places, because I don't get to enjoy them as much when I'm doing the research. So I just now hunkered down in here. I have a studio built up in my house with green screen and everything, and 4K cameras and so forth. So I've just been following up on a lot of the places that I had already been, and then researching the backstory on a lot of the artifacts and megalithic structures and so forth, and just getting a better understanding of, what they're about, and then writing about them, and so that I can utilize it either for blogging or podcasting or video or anything else. So I've been doing that, and I have when I sat down and opened up the old hard drives, I was just shocked at how much stuff I had that I haven't even posted or talked about yet. So there's just so much stuff there. So now I'm spending time getting a lot more acquainted with the backstories and looking at some of the old notes that I took when I was on site and things. It's really amazing, man. This has, freed me up to do a lot of that stuff, which is pretty cool. I've just been working on some new songs.
There you go. And I think that's a great thing. We are going, can you imagine a year from now, as the releases come out with these new albums, we wrote this during lockdown. Right.
Exactly.
It's our best stuff. It's our best stuff. I'm writing a song right now called I Have No Eggs. It's going to be a huge hit. It's going to be a huge hit. And what is the message for those that are staying at home? What can you share with everybody?
I think, man, just take this time to do several things. The first thing is, if you've always been trying to figure out how you can make money, on the side or extra or start your own business, now is the time to do it. If you're stuck at home, don't waste this valuable time. And it doesn't mean you need the money to start the business right now, but you need to start laying down the fundamental game plan, because what happens is the conscious thought is going to go out into space-time. The action behind it, by writing it down either on paper or on your computer, and then start putting pieces of the puzzle together, and then the universe is going to open up to you, and the law of attraction is going to take hold, and you're going to start to see doors open, windows open, opportunities coming your way. And by the time you come out of this thing, you're going to come up on the other side, and you're going to be smiling, because you're going to have a game plan, you're going to have a goal, short-term, medium-term, and long-term goal set, and you're going to be manifesting your reality in a way you probably wouldn't have gotten a chance to if this lockdown didn't happen.
That is some of the best advice I have heard yet, Mr. Billy Carson. You're absolutely right. Take this opportunity. You've got some kind of idea, some kind of crazy thing that you've always do it.
Yeah,
do it.
That's right.
Take the time right now to do it. You've never had the time to do it before. You're working, you're doing this, you're taking care of the kid. Right now, start that thing that you've always dreamed about.
That's it, man.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Billy Carson, thank you so much, my friend. I don't know when we're going to see you again.
I know.
I have no idea.
It's crazy.
I
used to hop on a plane to come to Cali for the weekend.
Yes.
Now I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, man. I don't know when we're going to see you again, but it's going to be great when we do. Billy, thank you so much, man. Behave and be well out there. Take care of your family. And keep rocking, okay? And we're going to have Billy on the show next week with a special announcement. We'll talk more about that at another time. Billy, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Jimmy. Have a good one.
You too. Billy Carson, ForbiddenKnowledge.com. Very simple to do. Go to ForbiddenKnowledge.com. The links are always there at JimmyChurchRadio.com. All right, tonight is our stay-at-home party. Another special guest is coming up right after this short break. Yeah. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio.
Right on time. Thank you so much, Steve. We'll be ready to go in about 3 minutes. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fadernauts, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting, interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in. Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new paranormal radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the paranormal radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the paranormal radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to FadeToBlack with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Here we go. Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our Fade to Black stay-at-home party, as ordered by our governor, Gavin Newsom. There you go. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can do that. Join in on the conversation right now over at hashtag F2B. It is great. It's a place we call the Sandbox. Now, coming up next is not only our first guest ever on Fade to Black, but it will now be our last. Steve Murillo. Steve Murillo, man. How you doing, my friend?
Jimmy, doing great. Thanks for having me on. How are you? How are the Fadernauts tonight?
There you go. The big Fadernaut shout out. That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out.
Yeah, and you know, and thank you for that. And you have tirelessly been a part of the community and the UFO community, you know, for 2 decades now, getting it done here in Los Angeles, not only with your monthly meetings, but it's been a lot of radio, a lot of television. We've done a lot of radio and television together, too, as well.
Yeah.
And but this is the thing. Here we are tonight having a stay-at-home party with the Fadernauts. So many of the Fadernauts are staying at home now. They've been asked to stay at home. And what are you guys doing? What are you and Pat doing? Are you hanging out at the house? Are you behaving? Are you doing the right thing?
Oh, yeah, hanging out at the house, watching Netflix, of course. At your suggestion, we were just watching Joe Exotic, Tiger King.
Oh, man.
On Netflix.
There you go.
We got through the first episode just before I came on. It's intriguing, I'll tell you that. It's interesting.
Oh.
But, who would have had time for that, during our normal busy lives?
The thing is, something like Tiger King, look, it is totally interesting, and the twists and turns and the things that happen in this you're not going to expect, and it's dramatic and it's crazy. But the thing is, in probably a normal life, you would never watch it. Now you're forced to stay at home, and it's like the best docuseries you've ever seen.
You gave it the seal of approval. That was enough for me. I said, we got to watch this. So, yeah, we turned it on, and, you can tell after the first episode, it's just getting good. It's just starting to go. And you're like, oh, what's going to happen next? So, yeah, definitely that's a recommend for Netflix guys.
Now,
folks,
you and Pat spend a lot of time together, and certainly the four of us, you, Pat, Rita, myself, we do a lot of things together. Yep. You already spend a lot of time together. Now you're forced into taking this to the extreme. How are you guys, planning on, not harming each other? What do you do? Yeah, I mean, you gotta consider that part, right?
Yeah, we've been together for 25 years. We're coming up on our 25th anniversary in June. And I think that, we've had a successful marriage. I don't think we ever fight. Every now and then we have a little tiff, little short, little whatever is once in a while. But for the most part, we're blessed in that we get along very well together, And I can't say it for all my friends, So we're sort of lucky and blessed to be that way. So, but yet at the same time, I think what we both do is we respect one another's kind of alone time or need to have space. You know what I mean? You can't always be on top of one another. You have to give each other a little bit of space, regardless. So we do that too. I think we just sort of like kind of intuitively do that. Now, and yeah.
What do you guys normally? Do you guys cook at home and have dinner at home, or I picture you guys as the metropolitan, cosmopolitan, international couple that eats at Morton's every night with movers and shakers.
No, not at all. But Pat's a very good chef. She's a good cook. So and she's had to be creative and kind of come up with things that are in the fridge. Put it all together, but she always just has this gift at that, and it's always good. It's always good. We had salmon tonight, and it had been frozen. I don't know where she got it. It was, but it was wild caught salmon. We had that. We had nice salad, and But I'm a lucky man. Pat's a good cook. I can make coffee in the morning, Jimmy. That's about as far as it goes.
Yeah. Well, we're having fish tonight too. Fish.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, fish sticks, but they're going to be. They're going to be good. No, Rita, you know what? I can say that in such jest because everybody knows what an amazing cook.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, I know. I can brag on Pat, but Rita, man, holy smokes.
Yeah, I know.
No, she's world class.
Yeah,
she really is.
I just said fish sticks, and man, Rita's going to walk in the studio and hit me with a shoe.
Your ears are burning right now. Smoke's coming out of her ears. She can come over and hit you with a rolling pin right on the head. Boom.
Man. This is the thing. Here in, I guess we can go back to the riots where we had the lockdown that happened and the curfews that kicked in over those few days. This is something totally different. Californians are used to the shock and awe with the fires and the craziness and the earthquakes and stuff. But this feels a little bit different for this city, and there is no end in sight. What's it like in your neighborhood down there? You guys live at the beach, which is normally full of tourists and people visiting the beach. Is it empty down there?
It's empty now. I heard Saturday, we weren't here Saturday. We took a drive to the desert just to get up away from everybody and just get up into the mountains. So we did that. Took the Jeep, Grand Cherokee. I know you've got a Jeep Wrangler. Is it a Rubicon?
I have a Willys.
Okay, Willys, great. So, we decided to test the Jeep out in a place called Garlock and take it four-wheeling, and it did great. But
I heard about that. We need to do something together, the four of us, and take both of our vehicles out and go and picnic and drive out to the desert and take some emergency supplies with us in case.
It's fun. We'll take you to this. This is a great little proving ground to kind of get your feet wet and four-wheeling. But we heard that on Saturday, a lot of people from all over the city came to Manhattan Beach, and they were just throngs of people on the beach, and camera crews were there filming it and all. So we kind of got a bad rap on that, and Governor Newsom's not going to be too happy with Manhattan Beach on Saturday. But Sunday was cleared out. So they shut down the entrance to the public parking lots there for a while and thinned out the herd a little. Oops, I used the wrong term. got less people on the beach. So it was nice and quiet yesterday.
Yeah,
today was pretty much empty.
Yeah, they didn't take any of that into consideration, which I find really interesting. And I'm talking about shutting down the public parking. Now they've done the public parking all the way from, I think it's like from San Diego all the way to Zuma. All the public parking has been shut down. And that includes all of the hiking trails around where people were going, well, I'm going to get out. I guess there won't be that many crowds. We can go hike, and it's not in a restaurant or a bar. And that's not, we're going to be isolated. Everybody decided to do that this weekend. Yeah. And so now they've shut down all the parks and all of the hiking trails, which are so numerous here in Los Angeles.
Yeah. When you're told to sequester, and when you're made to stay indoors, you just get you get a little edgy, right? You feel like, your rights, your freedoms are being taken away, or you just feel a little. It's just a little invasive, and so I think that was the public's response to that was getting out and going to do something over the week. It was sort of our response, we decided, but we ended up really getting out away, from people.
Shouldn't the message be from you and I and everybody else? Sharing the message from the media is one thing, but from us at the very base of society, which is just do the right thing for 14 days. Hang out at your house, practice your social distancing. We all have to do our part, and we should do it with our own decisions and not have somebody force us into a quarantine or something like that, right? Isn't that the message?
Yep. No, it is. But look at New York, though. They had the quarantine going, and people weren't listening. And Cuomo's out there talking about how he's looking at the parks, and there are just tons of people out there. Like as if nothing was going on. He was saying it's as if they were acting as if nothing was happening. And you're going to get infected. The problem with this virus is, at first they're telling you, well, cover your mouth, coughing, and stay away from people who are coughing and sneezing. But the reality is, you can probably contract this virus just by being in the close proximity of somebody who breathes out the virus, meaning somebody who's infected and is shedding. You have when you breathe out air, it's warm, right, Jim? And you know about hang gliding now because you came and saw me fly. Mm-hmm. So hot air rises. So when an infected person breathes out, that hot air is going to go up a little bit. So, and you have these little things called viruses that are a billionth the size of us. And so to those things, it's like a hurricane just took them into the air. So they're out there flying around just on breath. You don't even have to sneeze or cough. They just come out. And there they are floating around, and then you walk by too close and happen to breathe them in, and guess what? You're infected. So that's why it's been so virulent and so infectious, why so many people are getting sick, because, our guard's down. You think, oh, well, that guy looks fine. But remember, they're saying you can be asymptomatic and still be a carrier and infect people.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it, Steve. Well, listen, you and Pat, stay safe, enjoy your time together, cook, hang out, do the right thing, and have your own little stay-at-home party And
we'll do it.
And we'll be getting together very soon. Also, I did shoot video of you that I have not offloaded, you hang gliding, and I've got to send that to you. It's an absolutely amazing video.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to see it. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Well, thanks for having me on, Jim. Hey, best to you and Rita, and stay safe and healthy, and best to all your Fade or Not fans. You guys are like family to me, and Fade or Nots out there, just stay safe. We're going to get through this. We're hearing about new treatments, not cures, but treatments that are quite effective now. So stay positive and hopeful. I think it's going to be okay.
Steve Murillo, you pars, and a true pillar of our community. Thank you so much, Steve. All the best to you and Pat. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Best of you. Take care.
There you go. Yeah, I shot video. Steve, 60 years old, last week or the week before, of Steve hang gliding on his 60th birthday, jumps off a friggin' mountain in front of Rita and I, and hang glides down, and I'm out in the middle of the field waiting for him to land, and he's circling and comes down in front of me and lands, and I've got the whole thing. It's like a 10 or 15 minute video. Absolutely incredible. But the best part about the video is at the near the end, he lands and we go right up. He's got his ankle. We go right up face to face. And he's like, "What's up, church?" And it is the coolest thing ever. And I've got to get this up and posted for everybody because it is so much fun to see. And it was great for Rita and I to finally get up to the hang gliding park, which is right here in the valley. And the thing is, and you don't really notice it, but when you take the time to look up into the mountains right there above Burbank, there's a launch point. And then once you know it's there and you look, then you see the hang gliders. You don't really pay attention, and they come down and land right there. It's absolutely incredible. So thank you so much, Steve, and I will get you that video. Tonight is our Fade to Black Stay at Home party, and we're bringing on back-to-back guests all night long. And now coming up right now, a very special guest. Everybody's a special guest tonight, but I would like to welcome to Fade to Black, the one and only Linda Moulton Howe. Linda, welcome. How are you?
Well, Jimmy, thank you for having this sort of electron get-together in this very strange world. And I was thinking that at least last week, there was a tiny bit of light at the end of the tunnel for this reason. China's rising COVID-19 cases and deaths, they finally seem to top out. It took 4 months for them to top out, meaning that those almost straight lines of cases and deaths were rising. And if they've topped out in 4 months, maybe that means we have that at least to hang on to.
Yeah, I agree with you. And earlier today, and thank you for that, Linda, you're always in front of the news, right? But Linda, earlier today, after you and I talked, right after that, New Mexico announces a stay-at-home order and things for your state, and now you're starting to feel the effects of this, like we have already, been dealing with out here in California and New York and other states. What are you doing? Are you prepared? Did you go do a little shopping and get ready? And you and your cats, or did the cats have food? And
well, because I am always sort of in the middle of news, and I've really been paying a lot of attention, and if you go to my news website, earthfiles.com, and you go back into early January, you will see how much coverage that I have been doing. And I saw the writing on the wall a long time ago and knew this was going to be horrible and prayed that it would not be. But I started doing my own self-quarantine about 2 weeks ago, and I felt urgency to go out and get myself ready. My brother and I did a practice camping in case power even went out. And today, for the first time, it really did begin to rise up as a possibility in this regard, that as the United States, as a nation, is going in lockdown, that's what's happening, which is what China did to get out of the horror of it rising for 4 months. If they hadn't done that lockdown on 100 million people and kept it in place for, I think it was about 8 weeks, they would never have topped out last week. And we're facing that same question. And because I had covered SARS, I covered MERS, I covered the swine flu, I covered Ebola, I was afraid that exactly what's been happening around the world. And the idea of separation it isn't something, I think that what we're all learning as a nation of people, you want to do this to help others as well. And that it was so clear to me 2 weeks ago that if we didn't start separating from each other, this was going to be like a fire, like the California fires that rage. This is what a pandemic can do. And so I have been trying to do every single thing I can where I am, and when I go out, I try to have gloves and a raincoat and a mask and everything on, and then I keep those outdoors. I always take them off outdoors so that they go in a place in the sun. The sun should help sterilize the coronavirus.
Right.
And so you don't ever want to take the clothes that you go outside or your shoes or anything into your house. You want to have a place. And I was hearing, I guess it was last week, it was a doctor who was working, and right now I can't recall, I think it was New York, and the doctor was saying in a printed interview that trying to protect his wife and his kids, that they had a shower out in the garage, and that he, throughout all of this so far, that he leaves, he comes home, he takes everything off, it goes into a washer, dryer, hot water. He takes a hot shower, and then goes in a robe that has not been anywhere to go into the house. These are not to be scary, and that's one of the things. This is not the first pandemic. 1918 was the comparable one to this one, so 100 years. And the thing is just to try to read and study as much. I hope everybody will go to Earth Files and read what I have, because I've really been trying to stay on top of the evolution of this, and it was fascinating last night. I had to get the German first and translate it to make sure that I was reporting correctly, and did it in Google Translate. And this is about he's German, Dr. Hendrik Streeck, and he took a group out of great curiosity of what would happen if they went as a virology team in a village called Heinsberg, and that they literally went to every single house, and they had the same questions, they had things to test, and in the process of doing this, for the first time, we heard in a concentrated doctors going into a village when they were asking people who they knew were self-quarantining because they were sick,
right,
what their first symptoms. And over again, it was a mother who said she couldn't smell the feces in her baby's diaper, and it scared her. It was other people who said that they could not smell garlic while it was cooking on a stove. Can you imagine not smelling garlic cooking on a stove?
Not in my house. Yeah, not in my house.
Exactly. And so you can see how people would around the world who have been dealing with this, that these are brand new symptoms.
Right.
I mean, in terms of something that would fall into the category of a virus, and a lot of people that I understand why. They're very confused, and rightfully so. This is a coronavirus. That's the RNA side of genetics. The influenza virus is on the DNA. The coronavirus, the RNA, comes from animals, grows in animals, and has jumped into humans. The influenza, the seasonal fall, that is a virus. It does kill people. It does come seasonally, but we know so much about it, and we have vaccines, and I've always gotten a flu shot every single year to try to help, because when you study medicine, and I did so much medicine in terms of TV, doing house call in Boston for 2 years, and you begin to have a deep respect for people who are trying to understand at the RNA and DNA level these microbes that can come and take us down. And right now, we are up against one that is as big and deadly, but not overwhelming everybody. But that is the 1918 flu pandemic. And today, what we've got, and this is the good news, and this is why I'm so glad that you are having us come together digitally, that part of the good news is that we are able to talk on phones, and we are able to do Zoom and Skype, and we are able to stay up in news like an electronic community, even if the news is not very good right now. But if China reached what's called a topping out point on new cases and deaths after 4 months or 4.5, and we really started hitting this badly 3 weeks ago.
Right.
Then let's take March, April, May, June. We will get to the end of June and July. Hopefully, the heat there. It's not exactly. This is not atypical. This is not like the influenza virus necessarily. This coronavirus, I personally think that the most interesting thing to keep on track of and to be extremely aware of is the fact it's just like Life Science, which is a really great place to stay on top of this. Life Science reported on March 17th, COVID-19 spread is fueled by stealth transmission. That is exactly what everybody began to see was happening in China.
Right.
And that means that this coronavirus, as strange as it is, can stay inside of a human body. That's the host. When you hear that word host, it's the human body carrying it. It can stay in it, and now, how long? A headline today, NASA employee at Kennedy Space Center tests positive for coronavirus, and the last time this guy was at NASA, because everybody closed down, was 10 days ago. So now the question is, did he contract this coronavirus 10 whole days ago when his very end day at NASA in Florida, and then returned to his home like everybody else was ordered to work from home electronically?
Ooh.
And now is the first day that he has tested positive. So you can see, does that mean if he's been home for 10 days, did he get this at Kennedy? And now this would be full proof that this stayed inside of this guy for 10 days. And where does this, you get it, Jimmy, if this is the fact, and it appeared to be the same case in China, and this coronavirus can hang out inside of a host body for 10 days, no symptoms, nothing, then this is why right now, as we are at March 23rd, and the next 2 to 3 weeks could be the huge, huge surge. Why? It's because all of a sudden, all of these people who have been carrying it without any symptoms could become symptomatic. And that's why I don't think it is a good idea for the government worrying about the economy. I think they should make everybody say, with encouragement, everybody stay home. You can do it for another 3 weeks.
Yep.
There are great books to read, and there's other things to do. And if we could just gut it out in all of our separate places and do it for another 3 weeks, maybe even 4, then the dear God, heroic doctors and nurses, they might have a chance to be able to handle the patients that are definitely going to come in this surge, and we get through it. And then if it starts, it won't, it's not going to top out or taper off by then if you parallel to China, but maybe we'd get past the worst part, and then people could start thinking about things starting to, or organize at least, to start living or treading back into what we will call normal existence. But it doesn't do any good. It doesn't do any good with a coronavirus like this that can hang out in a host body and no symptoms until suddenly it springs. And then look at all the other people who were contaminated by all of the people who had no symptoms.
Thank you so much, Linda. You know we love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love you guys. I love everybody. I want us out of this. I want everybody back whole. And the dear doctors and nurses. Oh, my God. Thank everyone for them.
Thank you, Linda. Linda Moulton-Howe, big shout out. We'll be right back after this short break.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to GetTheT.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's GetTheT.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our Fade to Black stay-at-home party. And our next guest is late. And I don't know where he's at. And this is really funny. I'm just going to call him on speakerphone right now. Watch this. I'm on
hold.
Dude. Call me.
Listen to me.
Okay, I don't see you.
Well, I've been on hold for a while.
I don't see you. Hang up and call back.
Okay, the seven.
Okay, bye. Hang up and call back. He says he's on hold. He's not on hold. I don't see anybody on hold. I have no idea what he is talking about. So I just gave him the direct order. But I got to keep this a surprise, right? Yes, he is. Rita, I don't see him. I swear to you. This is absolutely bizarre. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this right now. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I got it. Here he is. Boom. You got to love live radio. This is so funny. Scott.
Is that you, Jim?
Yeah, Scott Walter. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm late, but I was on hold there, and you kept talking to me, telling me to turn the radio down. It's not on.
I have no idea. It's absolutely bizarre, Scott. I have no idea. And
that's okay, man. Hey, we're here. Let's party. You're having a summer party, right?
Yeah, we are, man. And how are you guys doing in Minnesota? What are you guys doing to keep the sanity? Plus, you guys are snowed in for 6 months out of the year anyway, so this is like a walk in the park for you guys.
Well, no, it's not bad. Jan and I get along pretty good, but I know her patience has been tested. Mine has been tested, but this is a weird new reality that we're in right now. But you know what? There's a good side to it. I mean, if you stop and think about the positives, I've been getting a lot of research done, and it's paying dividends. So that's a good thing.
What about what do you guys watch for a movie? You and Jan sit down. You're hunkered down. What do you guys do for entertainment?
Well, the weird thing is I've kind of gotten away from watching movies lately because I don't know why. I've been so wrapped up in stuff we've been doing for the last few years. But when we do sit down and watch TV most of the time, and you're probably going to laugh, but we watch stuff like Dick Van Dyke, MASH, Mayberry RFD. I mean, if I don't get enough Barney Fife in my life, I just don't feel right.
I was watching a video the other day of Barney Fife dancing, And man, I'm going to give it to you on that. Rita and we didn't go Mayberry RFD, Andy Griffith. Probably should. But you know what we did start about 2 weeks ago?
What's that?
Star Trek, the original series.
Oh, my God, that's the best stuff in the world. Gene Roddenberry was a 33rd degree Freemason, and if you look at some of the storylines they did, they were so progressive and so timely, way ahead of its time, and it was so schlocky in some ways, but also so clever in others. It was a perfect combination.
Yeah, we started season 1, episode 1, and just went for it. And then, let me back up. 2 months ago, we did the first 2 seasons of Lost in Space.
Oh my God!
Yeah, man.
Whoa, danger!
Yes, yeah. Went through it, and I thought Rita was just gonna at some point rebel and protest, and we'd have a revolution at the house. But the thing is, and she really enjoyed it. It's the way that I recommend Star Trek original series and Lost in Space. Those first 2 seasons to everybody out there that's at home right now looking for something to watch. It's incredible. And the thing is, it's not the science fiction part is great, and I love it. The aliens are great, all of that. It's the social commentary that the writers weave in, and Gene Roddenberry was an expert at that. Taking current events and weaving it into a science fiction narrative. And it's incredible to see.
Okay, Jim, I got a question for you, okay?
Sure.
Do you remember the episode where the 2 guys, they were on this planet, and they were 2 guys, and one of them was an actor, and the question is, who was that actor? But there were 2 guys, and they were black and white, and it went right down the middle of their faces and their whole bodies. One was black on one side and white on the other, and the other guy was white on one side and black on the other.
That's right.
And they hated each other because they were different.
Right.
And the whole social commentary obviously was about racial relations. But the way that that episode played out, if you watched it, the only thing you could come away with was thinking, how stupid is that the guys, they're just reversed, but yet they hate each other because they're different, right? And it was that total, how can we hate black people and white people? And it was ridiculous. It boiled it down to this ridiculous premise that everybody got on the show, but not in real life. Okay, so who was the actor I'm talking about? He was a famous actor, and I'll just give you a hint. He played a recurring character on Batman.
Oh, man. Okay, who?
I'll give you one more clue. He laughed like this.
Oh.
Can't believe I did that.
Oh, but you did it so well. Okay, go ahead. You always like to stump me. Gorshin. He was amazing.
Yeah, remember him? He was the Riddler, right?
The Riddler. He was amazing. Great actor. Great actor.
One of those guys that played the black and white and black guy, and he was super animated and hyper. And anyway, that was one of my favorite episodes.
Well, we've got about a minute and a half left, Scott. And the thing is this. I want to ask you how impressed you are with, because you're a world traveler. You've been around the world, and that's what you do in your research. How impressed are you with the way that the world has put differences aside for a minute and is just helping each other, and it just seems like a friendlier place today with all this drama? How impressed are you with that?
Well, you know what? I'm impressed on one hand, but I'm really not on another because of this pandemic that doesn't understand nationalities, race, sex, all of that. It doesn't matter. If you're a human, you're going to get sick. So what happens is a lot like what's happening on that episode we just talked about. All that crap that a lot of people think is important suddenly isn't important, and people are forced to come together in a way, but You know what? I think that's one of the beautiful things about what's happening here. This is a serious thing, and it's nothing to joke around with, but there are some silver linings, if you will, that are coming out, and that's one of them. That's really a good point, and I hope we come together more because this thing is far from over.
It is far from over, but you know what? I see a day when Vikings fans, Green Bay fans, and Bears fans are all united as one.
Well, it might be the Vikings and Bears, but never the Vikings and the Packers. Never.
Give my best. Hey, Scott, thank you for taking the time tonight to hang out with the Fader
Thanks
Knots.
for having me, Jimmy, as always. You know I love being on the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And give my best to Jan, and you guys do the right thing. Thank you so much.
Hey, to Rita.
You got it. Scott Wolter, everybody, stopping by from Minnesota. And, you know, this is the thing about Scott is he has been with us and a part of this family. He is an OG Fader Knot from day one, and he really appreciates this audience. And so thank you so much, Scott, for stopping by on our Fade to Black Stay at Home party. And that's what we're doing tonight. Now, coming up next, right now, from Las Vegas, Nevada, Joshua P. Warren. Joshua, good evening, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Good evening, Jimmy.
You're the best, man. You're the best, Joshua P. Warren. And okay, let's get a few things out of the way. We were just together, all of us, in Las Vegas just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we went out. We enjoyed the night in Las Vegas. Everything was bright and bustling. The lights were on. And here we are 2-3 weeks later, and it's a different world today. What's it like in Las Vegas right now?
Well, you know, I like to go out and gamble. And I feel like I'm living in a world right now where everybody's forgotten math. So for example, if you go to the CDC website, they say there are 33,404 cases right now of the coronavirus. And there are 327 million people who live here in the United States. And so that means if you calculate that, 0.01% of the people in this country right now have a case of coronavirus. And in fact, if you watch the White House briefing, they say of the people who are going to get tested, of the people who think they're sick enough to get tested, 9 out of 10 of them do not have it. And so I want to bring everybody some reassurance here from a gambler's point of view, from a guy who knows that there's, 38 spaces on a roulette wheel, and let everybody know that, yes, there's a microorganism here, but we're doing everything we can to clean this world, to sanitize this world. We're following some common sense guidelines. But the bigger issue here is that it's not just about the microorganism, it's about the fear and the panic that comes with it. And I see some people right now, Jimmy, it breaks my heart. They're really, really scared to death. And I think it's important for everybody to realize that your chances of getting this thing, much less dying from it, are way, 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 way lower than you hitting a jackpot here in Las Vegas.
Well, and there's that part, and then there's the other part that we are all facing, and that's the economic ramifications. And
because of the fear and the panic. That's what I'm saying.
Right. The other thing is, Joshua, is that if you are, and I agree with you, because if you are healthy, if you're taking your vitamins and your supplements and your diet is semi-normal, you don't have to be a vegan or some crazy, have some crazy diet. I don't, but and obviously you know that we just went to dinner and totally abused everything that. So that being said, if you are taking care of yourself, that's the number one defense right now. Staying at home is one thing, and we should all practice that for a couple of weeks and try to get in front of this. But it's your immune system, and if your immune system is correct, you should be just fine. And I think that's the message that we're not getting from Washington, and that's the one that we should definitely be talking about.
Well, you're right about that, but that goes for all the time. I mean, this is
That's
just
right.
sort of a reminder for us, and so
exactly.
You know what I've been doing, and it's the weirdest thing, Jimmy. I thought when this whole thing hit, I thought maybe I can get some time off now. No, I'm busier than ever. Okay,
Right.
I'm working on 2 television shows that are in full production right now. I'm about to hop on an airplane, and people say, "Oh my God!" They act like it's my last flight ever. You know, I'm flying off to war because I'm getting on this airplane, and I have so much stuff happening. But I have been working on this new paracymatics sigil that is designed specifically to fight the coronavirus scare. And I want to point out again, I'm not talking about the coronavirus because that's a microorganism. That's just one part of what's happening here. This is a multi-layered, multi-level thing that we're dealing with. It is the fear, the panic, the chain reaction of issues all around it that is the bigger monster.
Right.
Because very few people are going to get the coronavirus, but millions and millions and millions of people are now going to be suffering from economic repercussions, and that drives people to desperate measures. Okay, you take somebody's paycheck away long enough, you take their medicine or whatever. I mean, they'll start rioting, they'll start looting. I mean, things will get violent if this doesn't end, and so I have created a paracymatic sigil that I believe is the Stradivarius of sigils. And so without digging into what that is, your audience probably knows, but if they want to know more, they can find out more by listening to past shows. But I have given this away freely to the whole world in perpetuity. It's copyright free. And it's for the good of humankind to overcome whatever this thing is that we're in right now. And there are many ways to access this sigil. If you go to my Twitter at Joshua P. Warren, you'll find that I recently posted it there. If you go to joshuapwarren.com and you click the news link, you'll see it there. And all you have to do, Jimmy, is expose yourself to this sigil as much as possible throughout your day. So that means you could print it out and stick it on your fridge or your door, or maybe over where you have your vitamins and supplements, or put it as wallpaper or background on your phone or tab or laptop. Exposing yourself to this is my attempt to magically help us manifest an evaporation of this, like shining the sun on a vampire that sizzles and backs away.
I'm looking at it here, and this is the deal, everybody. I'm going to print it. I'm going to print it right now. And what is cool about this? Let me see here. What is the best way? Let's see. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm just going to save the image. That's fine. So you call it the Corona Sigil, as you should. Okay. And I'm going to hold it up to the cameras for everybody. It's over at joshuapwarren.com. Go to the news section. I just did. It's very simple and easy to get to. You can click on it right there. And it's up in your Twitter feed, and your Twitter is Joshua P. Warren. So I want somebody here. There you go. Somebody just busted it up. Thank you, Captain. And it's up in Twitter. I'm going to retweet it right here. Joshua's sigil. There you go. And I've got it up here on Twitter right now. And this is very cool. I've got one of your sigils, Joshua. Here it is, everybody. Okay, I just printed it out. It is now in the bunker. Thank you. I am now coronavirus free. So, and this is the thing. I've got one of your sigils that is literally a screensaver.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I do. It's just always there. I'm not going to tell everybody which one. That's my secret. But, thank you for doing that. Now, what is the overall intention, and what can we expect from the sigil?
Well, I am working right now with a group of manifestors all over the world. Okay, I mean, and people who use wishing machines, who use miraculous prayer boards, who use wands, who use gemstones. Pick your tool of choice. I'm working with people all over the world, like Dr. Mulder, like Tom Vrillock, and all of his folks. And we have a network of individuals who are working together magically in order to try to manifest an end to this, to evaporate this as quickly as possible. And so, for example, right now, I'm looking at one of the machines that I have set to work against this thing. But here is the bottom line. Anybody listening right now who really wants to understand more about this, there's information on my website and my podcast and all that. But here's what I advise you to do. Print out a picture that is a representation of whatever that thing is that you love. So it could be a sunset or a puppy or an ice cream cone or a person, doesn't matter. Print out some kind of a representation of something that you love. It could even come from your personal collection. And then print out a picture of your country. And I could say, well, why not just do the whole earth? But no, I think you're better off if you stay focused on your neck of the woods. So I know people listen to Fade to Black all over the world. So wherever you are, print out a picture of your country. And I want you to take those two pictures and look at them and then put the thing that you love on top of your country and let this represent to you sending that signal, that radiant sort of message of what is positive to this thing that is causing what's negative. Because if you send something back that's hateful or fearful, well, all you're doing is getting into a ping pong game with the dark side. I wrote a book called Use the Force, A Jedi's Guide to the Law of Attraction. And I talk about how you can get into this game of somebody says something nasty to you and you just hit them back with something nasty, and that game can go on forever. If you want to end this, you have to embrace the opposite of what it is. This thing is something that gives us fear, and the opposite of fear is love and kindness. And so put those two together. If you are a person who practices manifestation, put that on your wishing machine, put that on your miraculous prayer board, put that on your altar, pray over it, whatever it is you do. But this will help you if you take those two images and put them together, because images are the way to sort of crystallize the energy that you are transmitting.
I think that's great. Right? And it's not necessarily, it's the individual side that applies here. Not everything is the same for everybody else. And the other part about this is the location. I think you're right. Doing the world, you know what? Just worry about the town that you're in. Right?
Yeah, right.
And just focus on that. But I think that's great. And you can apply the same thing to anything that you need or want to manifest, something that's going to bring you the bliss that you are seeking, right?
That's exactly right, because at the end of the day, for example, I did a program and a woman said to me, I've never been happy in my whole life. I was doing a program on wishing machines. She says, I've never actually felt happy in my whole life. How do I manifest happiness? She said, do I just write the word happiness? And I said, well, no, because that's not going to do anything for you, because you don't understand or you can't connect with what that is. So I said, think of the time in your life when you have felt the happiest. And again, it doesn't have to be some big thing. It could be a movie that you watch. I have a woman who sent me a picture of her with her cat named Daisy, and Daisy died 3 years ago. But seeing that picture of herself with her cat Daisy brings her that feeling of love and joy. Find whatever it is that for you represents the thing that creates that vibration. Because, yeah, it may sound oh, that's real nice. Oh, he's talking about love and kindness and all this hippie kind of stuff. But no, the reality is, the dark side, the evil side, if you want to call it that, it is a certain vibration. And love and happiness is a vibration. These are physical things, and these are physical vibrations that I tap into when creating parasymatics sigils. And so my point is, it's not just a matter of, oh, this all sounds great. It's a matter of realizing from an engineer's point of view that there is one type of a frequency and there's another type of frequency, and one can neutralize the other. And when you tap into love and kindness and charity and all these feelings, and you blast this phenomenon called the coronavirus, if you blast it with that, it will disappear.
Thank you, Joshua. And everybody needs to check out Joshua's book, by the way. It's called Use the Force. I have it. Go to joshuapwarren.com. It's one of the great websites out there. And Joshua, my friend, thank you so much. Had a great time hanging out with you a couple of weeks ago. And you're going to be on Fade to Black with us here very soon. I look forward to it. In the meantime, be safe out there. Thank you, Joshua.
You're doing great work, Jimmy. Thank you.
You're the very best. Joshua P. Warren. JoshuaPWarren.com. Thank you so much. And I will be right back after this short break, continuing our Fade to Black Stay at Home party. Got another special guest coming up, and I'm going to see if I can squeeze in some of your phone calls. Oh, wait. I think we have two guests coming in. My bad. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. How are you doing? This is Fade to Black. Tonight is our Fade to Black stay-at-home party. Nothing but back-to-back guests, and I gotta just do this the right way. The one and only Race Hobbs. Race, good evening, my friend. How are you?
Hello, Jimmy Church, and big shout out to all the knots and the KGRA Nation. It's always an honor to be invited to a Jimmy Church party.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You said the knots. I love it.
That's right. There are people, and I've grown to love them over the last 5 years, and there's not an audience on earth like them.
Yeah, there really isn't.
No.
You know, and this is what I think about all the time. Is as a fan of talk radio, like I am, and certainly you've been doing it forever, but as an audience member, the programming that Fade to Black and KGRA does on a night-to-night basis, I cannot imagine how excited I would be with the programming that comes in. I know as a fan, the amount of work that we put into this. And like the show tonight, I mean, what an incredible show! And you don't get that anywhere.
No, you don't. It's very clear to me that these are times, especially where our shows on KGRA and your show on KJCR and KGRA are certainly a great escape from the fear porn that you hear all over the mainstream media, whom we bag on just about every day, even when there's not a pandemic going on around the world. Right. Yeah, no doubt. But it's a hard job. You and your staff and Rita and everybody at the KGRA, it's a constant, because we're all grassroots, right? We were all born solely from the lint in our pockets. And this whole thing started completely organic on our end and on yours. And it's in a large way, it's still that way. We make our own decisions, right? And, we kind of do our own thing. And it's all for all of you, all of the Fadernauts and all of the KGRA Nation out there that is just so loyal, so supportive. And, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I know you probably feel the same way.
Yeah, it's the same thing. When you follow your bliss and you find your bliss, there's no going back. You just can't imagine doing something else. Now, what about you and Robin and everybody up there? Are you guys? What's going on with the state of Utah?
Well, I got to be honest. I've been musing over, what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it, because it's not just talking about paranormal now. We're talking about, life and death and a lot of fear out there, and addressing things in a way that is much more, affecting to people. But for us, to get to your question, I'll say everything's good so far. Salt Lake is an international hub. And it really always has been, whether it's trains or planes or both. And, so we expected for numbers to rise up, pretty quickly here once it all came out. However, I've worn the label drama queen around the station for about a month now. And I just lost it in the last week because everybody's finally coming around to Robin and I's way of thinking that, like Linda Moulton House said, she was on this way early. I was following Linda, as a lot of your listeners and you do. Mm-hmm. And we took this serious way back. I've got just enough toilet paper to last us. We didn't hoard, but we went and got, 40 cans of tuna fish, right, from 3 different stores. Everything we bought in moderation, we bought from 3 different stores, and we got everything we needed, with the exception of milk and dated items. Mm-hmm. And we've self quarantined ourselves for the last week. I'm a patriot. I'd like to say that, with all the love and respect that it endures in me. I just do what I need to do for the population. And I have to say this because it's really extra serious to me because I have pre-existing health conditions. I'm only 51, but I have heart disease. I'm a diabetic.
You're a big guy. You're a big guy.
I'm a big fella. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fella. So, Robin is terribly scared. She's scared that, we just had a baby in Arkansas, our granddaughter, and our kids we're away from all of our family. Let me put it that way. We moved out here to Utah 2 years ago, and we're away from all of our loved ones. My mother, who's 80 years old, is back home. And, our fear is worried about losing loved ones. And, and I don't, there's, just like you said with Joshua P., and I'm not bagging on Joshua because I love the guy to death. He's a great fella. But I think that his wishing machine is sort of a replacement for me for prayer.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It
is. And there, it's something out there for everybody.
Right.
So I don't want anyone to take that wrong.
Right.
I know that the most powerful organ in humanity is the human brain.
That's right.
And when you wrap enough human beings around the same thing, I don't care what it is, it will manifest. It will be invented, created, and implemented. It's powerful. And when you do the same thing with prayer, it's worked for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's what Robin and I subscribe to. And, we've been praying for our family, been praying for all of you and everyone around the world. And that, it's what's really been amazing. And I'm going to put this out there. It's given me and Robin the opportunity to enjoy each other in a way that we haven't gotten to in a while. We've been calling our relatives and having long, deep conversations, not just about this COVID thing, but about family and who's doing what. And Robin has been doing her ancestry through all of her relatives. It's ignited this thing in her family where they're all calling and communicating and talking and, who was great-great-grandfather so-and-so. And I mean, it's just really been amazing to watch because it really has affected Robin in a way that has her terrified that I'm going to get this and I might not make it through it if I do. And so the mortality of it all is always ever present in people like Robin and I. But I just want to say that I don't think that, all the shelves in the stores emptying out and all that. It's not. Some of your guests have just, chalked it up to America being crazy and some people being crazy. And we hear it from other people as well out here in the social sphere. And I kind of walked away from it a little bit the last couple of weeks. And I just, I really think that people should get with their kids, get with their grandkids, and, sort of get to know each other on the level that we used to before cell phones and the internet and all that stuff. I think it's a great time to do it. And it's refreshing for us.
There's another part to that. And although, and I know I may seem like I'm repeating myself, but we can't take our eyes off of those that are being directly affected with this, with their jobs and their income, and they've got kids and they're worried. There's that. And then there's the other part that we can't take our eyes off of, which is thanking the men and women around this country that are handling the logistics of making sure that everybody is fed and the medical is happening and people are safe and law enforcement and the fire, all of that. It is an incredible amount of stress that people are finding themselves. You know what? Right now, I can't imagine the stress of a truck driver and the pressure, right?
What you just reminded me of is all of these, because like when Robin and I are at the grocery store,
right?
I stay in the truck. She won't even let me go in. And so she goes in with her gloves on and her little mask, and she goes in and gets what we need. And, the guy that's out there collecting up the carts, my gosh, can you imagine all the hands?
Yes.
And people that have coughed or sneezed on those carts, and they're out there collecting them all up and bringing them in by the hundreds. And I just had to get out of the truck, walk over, not close, but about 10 feet away. I said, thank you, brother. I appreciate what you're doing. And we all appreciate you being here, because honestly, what you just said it couldn't be more true, that, these truckers, these grocers, the nursing staffs at nursing homes and doctors at hospitals, the hospital staffs, first responders, these are the folks around the world that are out there keeping the wheels from falling off.
That's exactly
and they
right.
need to be thanked.
Man, I could not. Dolan and I were talking about this the other night on Coast to Coast.
Richard Bleepin Dolan?
Yeah, that guy. He had to have. He's got 3 names now, so there you go. He's that important. is this? We cannot thank the people stocking the shelves after the madness of a day at the supermarket, dealing with the crowds, and then having to get the trucks in, get the stores shelves restocked. That right now is one of the most important jobs in this country, period. And I can't imagine the stress that they are under. And not only that, dealing with doofuses like me all day long, coming up, you got any eggs? Hey man, you guys got any chicken?
We called ahead, like we honestly were going to get an answer. I told Robin, I said, honey, they don't even have anyone to go check to see if they have it. So we hung up and we drove down the mountain, and we went to the store, and they had 3 bottles of bleach left, and we picked up 1, because we know that you can put like 1/3 of a cup in a gallon, and it makes great disinfectant. It works perfect according to the CDC guidelines.
Right.
But that brings me back, Jimmy, to what I was talking about. I didn't finish my thought about, going and getting supplies and stuff like that at the grocery stores, but preparing a month ago, and everybody kind of laughing at us at work. We're not only preparing for what could happen from the contagion from the pandemic, that they didn't want to call a pandemic when it was a pandemic. You're also preparing for the reaction of other people. You're not hoarding. You're getting what you need to get and have to have from the pharmacy and from the grocery stores and everything, because you know that some people, not all, but some people are going to react differently. Mm-hmm. And I want to say this to all of your hundreds of thousands of listeners out there. If you're one of these people that hoarded supplies and you're selling it on eBay for a profit, you should be tied to a pole and horsewhipped. By me. On video.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Live stream. Yeah, you're right about that. And
the worst of the worst in humanity. The absolute worst of the worst.
Yeah. Last night, I went to the store. No, it wasn't last night. It was during the day. And they actually had supplies. They actually had water. They didn't have rice. They didn't have flour.
I know the rice.
Yeah, rice. But anyway, I'm on my search for eggs, right? And they didn't have eggs, but they did have chicken. And so I went and I bought. I got 2 packages of chicken breasts. Only 2. There was plenty there. Put them in the cart, and I'm walking down. The butcher comes up. Only one pack of chicken, bro. I was like, oh, man. So I turned around.
You were doing them a favor by only taking 2.
I couldn't wait to bring it home to Rita. I was like, man, I got my wife some chicken. She's going to be so happy. The king of the castle coming home.
Jimmy got his cutlets.
Oh, let me tell you what the rules are now at the house with me and the kids. I'm not making this up. Rita, I love you. We show up at the house. We walk in the door. Rita goes, wash your hands. That's it. That's the rule. You walk straight through the front door. You go straight to the kitchen. You go straight to the bathroom. And she'll watch. Make sure that the soap is there. She's got her watch out. 20 seconds. And it's just like, okay. But it's something that we should have been doing all along. And I want to go back to your point that you said, which is this. The vitamins and the supplements that we have been taking for years here, we did it for ourselves. But sometimes there are people out there that are, what are you taking vitamins for? Or why are you taking supplements, man? Isn't it, you know what? And today, I hate to say it, but with this community that is so health conscious, we get the last laugh here. Because everybody else is scrambling for solutions and thinking about this, but most of this audience that are listening to us right now take care of themselves. They try to do the right things with the diet. They're trying to make sure that they're doing supplements and CBD and these alternative ways of looking at yourself and staying healthy. Well, there you go. And and I feel pretty good.
It's got me, I love my groceries. And unfortunately, with neuropathy and plantar fasciitis in both legs and feet, my mobility is really limited. So I've always been, being from the South, we all eat healthy. No grease, no bacon, no fat, right?
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
No gravy.
Stick to that story, you Cracker Barrel.
I've always been a big, strapping, healthy guy. Never spent the night in the hospital until I was, 41.
Right.
But I have fought this weight battle for a long time, and I'm losing it. There's no question about it. However, I made gains last year. And I know about healthy eating and fitness and all that. I was an athlete all my young life. And trust me, I had to have an amazing balance of health and with the work that I did, the physical work that I did, or I probably already would have dropped dead. I just had a really good start and a really good frame and physical, fit body underneath all this. And then now I look at myself and I say, I've got to take some new steps. And that's when I quit smoking. I just up and said, This is it. This is the first step I could take. Of course, I lost those weight loss gains. I'd lost almost 100 pounds and I gained almost all of that right back after I quit smoking. But a lot of us struggle with weight and with health and fitness, and it's a terrible fight when you're losing it. It really can be. But I'm a happy man. Most people around me understand that it won't do much good for them to say too much of anything one way or another.
Right.
Because I'm pretty stubborn and I just kind of do what I want to do. Anyway.
Well, you quit smoking and nothing tastes better than that chicken fried steak and eggs with gravy.
Chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes.
That's
and
what
corn.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, really quick, race. There's some breaking news that happened right before the show tonight. I don't even know if you're aware of this. And if you're not, you better be sitting down. Did you know? Did you hear Bigelow Aerospace? Bobby Bigelow laid off his entire corporation today.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
All 68 employees were informed today that they were being laid off. An additional 20 employees were laid off last week And that's it.
Were they furloughed or were they laid off?
Laid off.
Wow.
I'm reading. It's right here at Space News. You can go to spacenews.com. It's the lead story. Bigelow Aerospace, founded more than 2 decades ago to develop space habitats, laid off all of its employees March 23rd.
Did he lose his contracts with NASA?
It says here that it's the perfect storm. This is according to sources at the company said it was a perfect storm of problems that now includes the coronavirus pandemic. So, yeah.
My goodness.
Yep. Now there's a lot.
That's been a big topic of conversation. With me and some of my friends is this economy. This is another thing. We have to divide fear from concern in a lot of these cases. There is a lot of fear out there, but there are a lot of our elderly generation needs to be protected, and hanging out at the beach by the thousands getting drunk is not the way you do it. I really hope that the population of this country realizes the severity of losing an entire generation to this little microscopic bug and throwing our country into maybe a depression. People are talking about recession. I'm thinking that the stock market could crash. It could literally crash if we're not careful. And, I don't know what's going on with these cats in Washington, but it's time to get their shit together. To be aware of the financial, like you said, people are out of work.
Yeah,
people need financial support.
Yeah, back on January 28th, they backed out of a $561 million support program for the ISS. And they have those expansion modules that they were adding on to the ISS, and the ISS was right. This is crazy. I don't understand.
Genesis modules?
Yeah, there's something else going on. It's the beam. That's the name of it. The beam, the expansion module.
Right.
Man, absolutely incredible.
That is insane.
That is insane. So what do you guys, I've got 1 minute left here, Race, as you know, since you run the network. What are you guys doing at the house to stay busy? Are you binging any TV shows or any movies you're going to watch?
I've been watching American Pickers.
I love that show, man. I love that show.
I have not seen it in years, and I've got to confess.
I want to be a picker like them.
I do too, dude. I would love to just go out, get my hands dirty, digging through everybody's stuff for little things, worth money. That's just, what a great, Mike Wolf is he's brilliant. And he pitched that show to the TV networks for years and years before it went through. And congratulations to him and Frank Fritz, because I just love that show. And I'll tell you another show I love. A lot of people are going to be mad at me, but I love Project Blue Book.
Oh, I love Project Blue Book. I love Project Blue Book. Didn't like it at first. It took me an episode or two to get behind it.
Exactly the same.
Exactly
the same.
No, I love it now.
Right up against the very end of it. I think it could be the next X-Files. I really do.
Yeah. It could. It's going to be just fine. Okay, I'll let everybody know. You can send the emails to me. Pawn Stars. Oh God. Love that show, man.
Yeah. Listen, before you have to go, I know we're right up against it.
Sure. I
just want to say, as I leave and we close the show out, it's been fascinating listening to everybody tonight. And what a great thought you had to do this show. And I just want to say to everybody, we've got a lot to learn about how to handle pandemics in the future and prepare for it in the future on the government level and here at our homes. And we have the ability to kind of slow down and learn more about each other, our friends and families, and all of that I mentioned earlier. And for me, contacting old relatives is a lot of fun. It's great to catch up with them. So those things that I tossed out there earlier, to get a hold of your older family and friends and or just any of your family and friends and catch up, it's soup for the soul. And it has worked for Robin and I. Robin sends her best to you, Jimmy. She loves you. And to Rita from both of us. And it's wonderful to be on your show again. And it's always an honor. And I truly thank you.
Race Hobbs. Race, I'm going to run credits right now, man. We ran right up against it. Race Hobbs, the KGRA. Thank you, Race. Be safe up there.
You got it, brother.
Race Hobbs, Robin the Bird. Thank you, Race. Fade to Black. What a great show tonight. I got to thank everybody that came in. Rabbi Bar Zadok, Ronnie McMullen, Billy Carson, Steve Murillo, Linda Moulton House, Scott Walter, Joshua P. Warren, and of course, Race Hobbs. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camurian. Thank you, Rita, for putting this show together today. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitola, Mark D. Kovar. Webmasters, Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldridge. Intro, Spaceboy, SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2020 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, right here on Fade to Black, David Icke, live from the UK. Until tomorrow night, I want everybody to be safe. Go Beckley Tappy.